It has become every bit as much an annual rite of spring as the azaleas at Augusta and the belief among Met fans that this is their year.
Oh.
It's that moment when we laugh at ourselves for ever thinking LeBron James wasn't going back to the NBA Finals. Do you remember when Isaiah Thomas was in Cleveland? Remember when they lost 8 out of 10, when their defense gave up 148 points one night? Remember when Boston and Philly and Toronto and Washington looked like legit contenders? Yeah, neither do I. As always, when it matters, the best player in the world, and maybe ever, has his team right where it needs to be.
The king.
The last remnant of contention disappeared from the East yesterday with the news about Kyrie Irving. Now, this Celtics season was star-crossed from the very outset, obviously, but on this morning, I would suggest to you it probably wouldn't have made much difference anyway. LeBron would have found a way, as he always does. So, gang, I'm setting the number at 3.5 Cavaliers playoff losses in the Eastern Conference. Is anyone at this table interested in the over?
Over.
Yeah, I'll take the over.
3.5 losses in the Eastern Conference playoffs.
Yep.
1 in the first round, 1 in the second round, 2 in the conference finals. I'm going over.
Who's the 2? Who's in the conference final with them winning 2 games from them? Toronto?
Right now, I have to say Toronto, based on how
I don't
the
agree
teams are
with
slotted.
anything that your essay just
Okay,
about.
well, let's hear it.
None of it. And also, because I still don't think it's a guarantee. But I'm also not in the group that you referenced that every year we think this is this. I don't. I've always really thought that as long as LeBron was playing on a team, they're pretty much the ones coming out of the East. This is the first year, and I know it's as if the stars are aligning. Every possible thing that could go wrong for any other possible contender keeps happening. The Kyrie news yesterday was devastating, and it just happened to be overshadowed by craziness. But it was a really big story because for a lot of us, Boston, although I still hold out for Toronto, had a legitimate shot. But I still don't think that this is a given. I really don't.
If for no other reason, look at the inconsistencies of the Cavs throughout the season. They still can't play defense. They're still trying to figure out their lineup. And let's not forget, if someone on their team gets hurt, we're looking at the Kyrie Irving news. What if someone on their team gets hurt? Now they're potentially not making it to the Eastern Finals.
Well, look, yes. I mean, injury is always the outlier in all of this, in all of sports, and I can't account for that. If LeBron gets hurt, then all bets are off.
Right.
But he seemingly never does.
No, he doesn't.
Look, I will take the under on that, and we can we'll set the stakes
Write
a little
this
bit
down.
later, but we will have a little fun with this at this desk. I have the under on 3.5 losses for the Cavaliers in the Eastern Conference playoffs. Now, there's a lot more NBA conversation to have. Let's stay with the Cavs, who, again, came back from a 17-point deficit last night to beat the Wizards, and LeBron scored 13 of his 33 points in the fourth quarter and afterwards said, I don't have a quit bone in me. Jalen, did you take this as LeBron sending a message to the rest of the East yesterday?
This wasn't about LeBron James because you guys did a statistic earlier in the show that said when he was in this position, he had lost like 150 straight times.
152, yeah.
This was about the Washington Wizards, a team that's been an enigma all season. They actually played well yesterday. They had 6 players in double figures. John Wall was terrific until the last couple of plays of the game. And I was disappointed in how they melted down more so than how the Cleveland Cavaliers, led by LeBron James, were able to pull out a victory.
There's only one other team in the East now since Boston is injury-plagued, and you look at Toronto, they're all mentally messed up, and that's Washington that can contend with the Cavaliers. So LeBron James and his team were sending a message last night in the fourth quarter. You know what? The one team that can really test us, we're going to show you, down 16, you still can't beat us. So to me, they were sending a message.